They all thought a tiny bird could do nothing, but that day, he changed the way the entire forest thought. In a peaceful forest, a little sparrow named Lumo lived among towering trees and playful streams. Lumo was small and often overlooked by the other animals. The deer admired the strong elephants, the rabbits adored the swift cheetahs, and no one paid much attention to the tiny sparrow. But Lumo didn't mind. He loved his forest and his friends. One hot summer afternoon, a terrible thing happened. A fire broke out at the edge of the forest. Thick smoke filled the air, and flames began to spread quickly. The bigger animals panicked, running toward the river, while others simply watched in fear. Lumo, however, felt a deep ache in his heart. He knew he couldn't put out the fire alone, but he couldn't just stand there and do nothing. He flew to the river, dipped his beak into the water, and carried a single drop toward the flames. The other animals laughed when they saw him. "Do you think one drop of water can stop this fire?" they mocked. Lumo ignored them and kept flying back and forth, again and again, carrying drops of water to the burning trees. After a while, the eagle asked, "Why waste your energy, Lumo? It's hopeless." The sparrow replied firmly, "Maybe I can't stop the fire alone, but I will do my part. This forest is my home, I must try." His determination made a few rabbits curious, then a couple of monkeys joined in. Soon, the elephants began carrying water with their trunks, and the bigger animals formed a line from the river to the fire. Together, they worked tirelessly. The flames, which once seemed unstoppable, began to shrink. After hours of teamwork, the fire was finally put out. The forest was saved, not because of one animal's strength, but because one tiny sparrow dared to act when everyone else gave up. That evening, the animals gathered to thank Lumo. The elephant bowed his head and said, "We were wrong to think you were too small to make a difference. You showed us that courage matters more than size." Lumo smiled and replied, "When you care enough to act, even the smallest efforts can inspire others." This story teaches us that even the smallest effort can create big change. If Lumo hadn't taken the first step, no one else might have acted. True courage shows in difficult times. It's not about being big or strong. It's about having the will and determination. Starting alone can inspire others to join. When you take the first step, people are encouraged to follow. Teamwork has the power to overcome the toughest challenges. And just like Lumo, remember, your actions, no matter how small, can spark a change bigger than you ever imagined. So, take that first step. The world is waiting for your drop of water.